fresh in the water. We were like ducks.
Ducks.
What's the saying? We were ducks.
Like fish out of water. Because crucially, ducks love being in the water.
Anyway, we were ducks. We were sitting ducks, and we went into. They took us.
Oh, sorry.
The classic 101 there, probably.
So, yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Hit UK #1 podcast. You're here with me, Lucia.
And Matt. Hi.
Welcome.
My first time on cam.
First time on camera.
Well, since the fated double couple episode that we did with Alex.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first video episode.
I know.
Just the two of us.
How do you feel about having the camera on you?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little like Pat does. I'm gonna have to do a couple of like looks at you and then some turns to camera.
Yeah, she does a lot of that.
She's very good at that.
I'm in a better position though.
You are.
Because I'm right directly straight ahead
Yeah.
from it.
To be honest, it might be better for me. I could just look at you instead.
Yeah, no. To be honest, it's actually arguably better if you're just staring at me.
Better for me.
Okay. Well, there we go. Guys, we are back online visually.
Indeed.
Camera's back up and running today.
YouTube ready.
Producer Natalia went on holiday and she took her camera with her.
Which she's allowed to do.
She is so allowed to do
that.
because I don't own this camera.
No.
So
No.
yeah,
She had a lovely time taking lots of photos.
she did. I think she had a lovely time. They went on holiday. She took it with her, but we've got it back. We're back.
We're back.
We're back in
in the
fucking business.
And back in the room.
And we're back in the room. We've got a good episode today for you.
Yeah, we think so. Yeah, got some nice topics.
There was something actually though that I wanted to mention, and I mentioned it to you just now before we started recording. And what I don't understand is today's people and generation are not going to the pub, and instead, because I went to the gym, listeners, before we started recording. He went for a swim. I went to the gym. We both were super productive, by the way. Super productive. And I went to the gym and it was fucking packed.
Heaving. And bear in mind, listeners, this is Easter Monday.
Bank holiday Monday.
Bank holiday Easter Monday at like
9 a.m. What's going on?
Yeah. What are people? Are people not hungover? I mean, we aren't. To be fair.
No, we're not. And we were doing it.
We were doing stuff, but I just think, well, we were saying it, weren't we? Maybe just people, especially our age, there's less of a drinking culture. There's more of
our age has still got the drinking culture in us. It does.
I think we're on the cusp.
It's the younger generation. Matt, it's crazy. I was talking about this with my friend when I go to the gym. We go to the gym together. All we see is teens in the gym. All I see is teens.
Yeah.
That is their hangout spot. Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday nights, every fucker who is under the age of 16 or 17, people that basically can't drink, or even when they can drink, they're at the gym. I don't understand what's going on.
Well,
I was at the park.
I think I do understand what's going on.
What do you think is going on?
I think it's this. Have you heard of someone called clavicular?
No.
Listeners.
What's clavicular?
What is clavicular?
No.
Well, so clavicular is a guy.
Okay.
He's a person.
Right.
He's like an online influencer presence.
Okay.
But his whole thing.
So it's a guy.
It's a guy.
It's a man.
It's a guy.
Why has he called himself clavicular?
I honestly could not tell you. It's because it's to do with. I think your clavicular is like something to do with your cheekbone. I can't remember.
Is it your clavicle?
Something like that.
Is it linked to your clavicle bone?
It's like about being chiseled.
Chiseled.
Yeah.
Stop.
But like,
fuck off. That is not the reason the name is linked to that.
I
Jesus.
don't know for sure, that's just my theory. But
sorry.
His whole thing is looks maxing.
Sorry?
Looks
What
maxing.
is that? What the fuck is that?
Boy, am I excited to tell you. Because it's one of the funniest things I think has ever been mentioned.
Okay.
So looks maxing
Yeah.
is his philosophy. And his whole idea is, so it's all based around that like super Andrew Tate, alpha male, high value man.
Okay.
And like, so his idea of looks maxing is girls want a high value, attractive man.
Yeah.
So you've got to do everything within your power to make yourself as attractive as possible. And like,
fair comment.
From a, which the thing is,
Don't
like,
disagree.
It's where it crosses a boundary, right?
Yeah.
So he starts off by going like, you need to be in shape, guys. You need to be in shape. You need to work out.
Yeah.
You need to work out.
Okay.
Go for a run.
Yeah.
Cut down your carbs.
Yeah.
Eat good.
Yeah.
We're fine, listeners. That's fine.
That was
Looks,
all.
that's good.
That makes sense.
They're fine. Looks maxing. Fine. Yeah.
You're like, great philosophy.
Why don't we inject estrogen?
Oh, I didn't expect you to come out with that one.
Or perhaps why don't we inject growth hormones?
Oh no,
to make our legs longer?
no.
Yeah. Or perhaps, and this is what he went viral for. He has gone out and saying like he doesn't do this much, but he put forward a technique called bone smashing.
Oh fucking hell! That sounds awful.
He's got a little hammer.
Yeah.
And he's basically
I'm nervous.
smashing his like gently
smashing
his cheekbones.
No.
Because apparently there's like some orthopedic study that like when you impact bone, it regrows stronger and sharper, and that gives you more defined cheekbones.
That's awful.
He's honestly, Lucia, like he's such a meme, and he's very young. He's like 22.
Yeah.
And it's this and that mewing thing where all the boys are like gotta like.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Mew
oh my god.
Your cheekbones. It's all that sphere of like, and that's where I think this like obsession with
fucking
exercise.
Hell,
and
bro.
He told this interview the other day, and this is the pinnacle of the most funny thing I've ever heard. Is the guy was talking to him like, you're looks maxing, right?
Yeah.
Part of his looks maxing is he wears lifts in his shoes.
What's a lift in your shoe?
Is
it just like a platform?
Yeah, it's platforms in your shoes to make yourself look taller.
To make yourself look taller, yeah,
exactly.
obviously.
So he lift maxes to like make himself like 6'1" or whatever.
Okay, and he's like 5'8".
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh no, 5'11". Sorry.
So then the guy's saying to him, he's like, so say you managed to looks max and you height max to get this girl to go home with you. So you get home, you're gonna take your shoes off, right? So she's gonna clock that you're not as tall as you are.
Oh no!
And he thinks he's got him. He's like, I mean, you're always the same height when you're lying down. He hits him with a little, it doesn't matter when you're lying down how tall you are. And the guy's like, no, but like seriously, like if you had to get up to pee,
like what we're doing,
she's gonna see it.
Yeah.
And he pauses for a moment. He's like, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, what you can do is you can drop your trousers a little bit lower so the hem touches the floor, and then you can tiptoe max.
That's the advice he gave out on his interview. What interview was this?
It was it was either the one that there's that rage bait guy who does, what's he called? Andrew?
I have no idea. This is
five news or something. He's
got
like,
quite a lot of pop culture reference here, Matt. Go on.
I'm hip. I'm relevant.
So how did you find out about this clavicle guy?
Clavicular.
Whatever his name is. I don't give a fuck. How did you find out about him?
I think I just come across him on the internet.
Yeah.
But he's, like I said, he's kind of connected to the Manosphere vibe.
Right, okay,
He's not directly in the new Louis Theroux documentary.
Yeah.
He's not in it, but he's like connected to that.
So
sort
he's
of
that.
vibe.
He's that. Okay.
And then someone recently showed me an interview with him from this guy that does 5 News or whatever it's called.
Wow.
So honestly, but yeah, I think that's why you see.
That's why
these 13 to 16-year-old boys like.
Oh no, I'd say like 13
lifties.
to like 19, 20. Like it's like the young, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on
it's obsessive,
here?
man.
I was in the park. I was drinking in a park when I was 14 years old. I wasn't in the gym.
I was playing games on my computer.
I look like a deformed human, as you should. There's these kids, Matt. Honestly, they're in booty shorts and they're in like a sports bra. Even now as an adult with a fully developed body, I still wouldn't do that in the gym. And there's these like 13-year-old girls' bodies, and I'm just like, you're pubescent. You've not even got your boobs.
But
like, what are we doing?
By like online,
crazy.
Fitness influencers and all of that. I think it's just, people,
crazy.
People want to emulate their stars.
It upsets me. It deeply upsets me. Deeply.
Can you get into Rose and Thorn?
Yeah, I've got quick ones.
Oh, you got quick fire Rose and Thorn.
Yeah,
right.
I mean you can go first if you want.
Do you? Well, I'll take my. Yeah, all right. I'll go Thorn first because what's amazing is, listeners, just before we started recording, Lucia, without knowing it herself, actually referenced my Thorn, and she'll clock it as I tell the story.
Okay.
So, for those blokes out there that live with a girl with long hair.
Like yeah, fuck me, yeah. It's my Thorn as well, really. Yeah.
You will know that an unfortunate part of having long hair is that you molt that long hair absolutely everywhere.
I shed. I'm like a dog.
Like a dog at all times. No matter the season, you will be finding hair everywhere. And that means, and again, love your design choice of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful flat. Part of Lucia's design choice was this, that she wanted a white stained wood floors.
They had it. The previous owners had the stained floor.
And Lucia loved it. She fell in love with it.
I thought it was nice.
And so we restained it ourselves.
We did.
Lucia, as you can tell, has lovely dark hair.
Yeah.
It means that every single hair comes up so bright on this floor.
It's so
obvious.
So obvious. Like I fucking hoovered before we started, and I can already see like 5
That's
new
what I mean.
hairs.
She said it literally
like,
before we started recording. You literally were like, "Oh, I can find another hair on the floor."
It's so annoying.
But to be honest, the hair on the floor is only really the beginning of the problem for me. When it actually becomes an issue for me is I consistently find hair in my food. And this actually happened yesterday when we were at your parents' for food, and we'd had a lovely spread prepared, and Lucia had come and sat down next to me for literally like 3 seconds. She just sat down, and I went to eat my food, and I saw a massive long hair in the avocado.
That could have been.
It could have been many members of Lucia's family.
Any member of my family or my sister's friends. That could have been literally anyone.
All of your sister's friends, yeah.
Some
big, long brown hair.
Some of them. Natalia, she's got long hair.
It could have maybe been Natalia.
Liv has long dark hair.
Natalia, you know you're guilty of this problem as well, unfortunately, and we sympathise with your lovely partner who has to go through the same thing that I do, of the molting.
I think my hair is worse when it's straight. It's a fair thorn.
A fair thorn. It's not something you can do anything about.
No, I can't do anything about any of it. My thorn is also related to this morning.
Okay.
And I didn't have one for this week. And my thorn is every time I broach, like earlier, so listeners, we got up at 8:30 today.
Yes.
Delightful. Lovely. Had slept beautifully, got 9 hours of sleep. Matt got 9 hours of sleep, both fresh and ready for the day. And like I got up, I went to the gym. He went for a swim. We came back, we've showered, we've got ready for the day, going to his family's. Yeah. We're recording an episode and a half of a podcast.
Let's see where this is going.
Right?
Yeah.
I said to him, I turned to Matt and I was like, isn't it nice to get up early and actually do loads of shit before the day? And Matt goes, yeah, well, on my day, I work so late that I'm so productive anyway, so I do loads of stuff. And I was just like, well, first of all, there's bullshit because you're doing loads of stuff. Everything is shut by the time you actually need stuff to do. What you do loads of stuff is like you do some writing or you might do an invoice. But like in terms of like life stuff, you go to the shop, you hoover the thing, it's not about that. I'm just saying it's nice and you will die on this hill. You will never agree with me that sometimes waking up early is a nice thing to do.
Will I? No, I will agree with you that there are some
you didn't even do that this morning.
There
so
are
that's
some
dog
days where
shit.
waking up early is a good idea. Like if I was trying to make the most of a holiday day or something like that.
Bullshit.
I would maybe
Even
up
on
early.
holiday, you wouldn't
But
be doing that.
What I will say to that point is I do think, and maybe actually not even I think, studies show that there are people who have different working capabilities. There are 3 distinct types, and there are people that are productive in the morning, there are people that are productive in the middle of the day, and there are people that are productive towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, different people are different places.
Show me those studies.
Listeners, I'll get the study.
Roses?
Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first?
My rose, I've got a rose, is that it was Easter this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's really short and you know what it's going to be. But it was that you came and joined me for my family for the weekend, which is quite a big deal in your family because you had to say no to your family for a couple of things. And I appreciate, we're going to see them today, so it's not that deep. We are seeing them.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a few connotations and obligations that you have. So I actually very appreciated the fact that we were at mine for Easter Sunday and Saturday as well. So yeah, that's my thought, my rose, not thorn.
Yeah, you're not wrong. A somewhat complicated negotiation to get there, but I was happy to come and have. And to be honest, we had a really lovely weekend. Producer Natalia,
it was.
We had a lovely weekend.
Yeah,
it was so nice. So thank you also for inviting me as well. Yeah, thank you for that. That was a nice
That's all right.
Lovely rose.
It's just true. It's just facts. You've got to appreciate the things. I think when relationships, it's important to note that when they do something good, like a child, but like it is important to acknowledge the fact that you are happy that they did that. Because if it was they've gone out of the way to change something, and I think people don't often do that to each other, and I think it's really important because it's like, they don't realize how much of an effort that is for me to do.
That's so true.
So it's like, no, I acknowledge that you've done that, and it's thank you for
That's the thing is, like, even if it's obvious, it's sometimes nice to say it anyway, just so that it's said. Yeah, thank you. Well, yours? My rose is it's really a kind of a rose about you as a person.
Oh,
really.
we love a rose about me as a person.
And it's something that I know when we first met, even really something I said to everybody around me, but has remained true over the years, is that I think you are possibly one of the few people who makes me laugh. That's
because I'm fucking hilarious. I don't know. I'm gonna
as much as I try and make them laugh.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot, I mean, I've always tried to be the funny person, I suppose, in situations. And I spent a lot of my childhood and teen years making other people laugh and really enjoying that. But like, not always feeling like necessarily I was made to laugh as much as I was trying to make other people laugh. And when I first kind of met you, and again, maybe, I don't know where it had come from, but just surprised me on that how often the things you would say just would catch me completely off guard, and the things that I would never think to say. And that's what would make me laugh. And I think over the years, you've
I've gotten funnier.
You've only got funnier. You've only got funnier. Like a fine wine. You've aged well.
My material has just gone up.
Yeah, exactly. We know you maybe need to workshop some new stuff. But
do you know what, guys, as well? Like, I'm sorry to bait you out like this on the pod, Matt, but I'm doing it. But Matt, when he first met me, he used to say, like, I just met women that are that funny.
Yeah, I did say that.
You did?
It's not that. No. That's not a characterization. That's not fair. I didn't say that women aren't that funny, because there were women that I've always found. Victoria Wood, I've always found funny, and well, don't quite give me that look.
Sorry, carry on.
And my point is that I hadn't met like many girls who I'd like fancied, where the dynamic was.
So you're saying young, hip,
cool girls. I just hadn't had that relationship, even platonically, with a girl where I felt they were making me laugh as hard as I was making them laugh, and that really surprised me.
Understood.
And consistently, you still make me laugh all the time.
That's so cute.
I'm always surprised.
Well, we've always had our sense of humour together. I think that's the one thing that people, and I think a lot of people that don't know us as a couple, and even the ones that do know us as a couple,
even listeners that you've seen,
even listeners that have seen us on the pod, like a lot of the time, like me and Matt, like we bickering, but we're doing it with jest. The majority of the time, you can tell the tone is slightly different when
usually
it's not.
we enjoy it. Yes, exactly.
But there is a time where we are trying to wind each other up as much as we can, because I think that's just our dynamic. So main discussion this week.
Well, it kind of came up. We were thinking, because producer Natalia, I mean, I don't know if we want to share too much about news, but she's hopefully going to buy a house very soon.
She's in the process of buying.
I don't have any wood
process of buying. Touch your head. She's in the process of buying. So then it came up that maybe the best thing to talk about is buying a property and our top tips.
Yes,
for this.
Well, because we went through the process, as we said on the pod. This is our flat, and we bought this
over a year
ago now. And
it was the most stressful experience.
It was horrendous, listeners,
of our lives.
It brought well, it certainly brought Lucia to tears multiple times.
Top tip: don't buy.
I'm pretty sure I lost 20 kg in stress. Honestly, horrendous.
Okay,
everyone has to do it. So.
I just want to caveat and say that our buying process was particularly unique, listeners. So, like, for those that are buying, have bought, or are looking at buying, and they're going to take this as like advice, top tips, step-by-step guide, whatever you want to do with it, we're going to try and lay it out in a way that makes the most sense for people. We'll try and talk people through the process as quickly and efficiently as we can. For those that have no idea, because we were even having a conversation the other day, like, they were like, someone was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, where do you start? What happened? What's the order of the way you buy? And we thought we would share what we encountered as best as we can.
Advice that we've been given as well by other people.
And we thought we would go through our then top tips of the key things that either we didn't know, we didn't realise, or things to look out for with buying. And it's really relevant because we're at a time in our lives where a lot of people are still not bought,
going through this phase
or
as well,
thinking about trying to do it, starting even to think about it as well.
I agree.
So we're gonna crack it on, but just to caveat, our experience personally was quite unique to our situation, based on mine and Matt's jobs. We're both freelance. We both don't have long-term contracts. We both earn like irregular amounts. So like it was borderline nearly impossible for us to even get a mortgage.
Yeah,
we got one, but it was fucking hard work to get there.
And I think that mostly, I would say,
most people won't have that issue.
But I would say just that comes down to just making sure you find a mortgage advisor that's right for you.
Tip number one.
Mortgage advisor. So this is where you start the process. I would say the first step that you should probably do is talk to a mortgage advisor so that you can get an idea of how much you might be able to borrow and what your budget is going to be, because you can't do anything, you can't look at anything until you know what your budget is.
Yes. And I would say, in addition to that, with the mortgage advisor thing, make sure that the mortgage advisor you speak to is a fucking good one.
Yep.
Because we had two.
Yes,
we had two. The first one gave us the wrong quote, so we were looking at properties over the value of what we could afford.
Yeah.
And then again, we had the same issue though, Matt. Do you not remember with our first flat, we were then 10k short at one point, and we were down the process with it.
Exactly.
So my first thing I would say is, with the mortgage advisor, make sure they are a good one. And also, before you've even bought anything, and if you don't decide to get a mortgage in principle, which you don't need to.
No.
We'll come back to mortgages in principle.
Yeah, we will.
But what I would say with that is make sure that the amount the mortgage advisor is giving you is a rough accurate.
Yeah, and I think...
And I would ask them to check.
Check again, but also, making sure to get a good mortgage advisor, speak to people around you. I always recommend trying to go for someone that is recommended by someone that's used one. And what we found as well is a good mortgage advisor back their craft and will often charge you once, and then you're contracted with them to do all of your future mortgages.
Yeah.
Because they get a commission on the mortgages that they do.
I
and
forgot
actually,
about that.
a good mortgage advisor shouldn't be charging you that much, because it's usually like a nominal fee. The money they make is in the negotiation they do with your bank. So it's in their interest to do well for you.
Yeah,
if
true.
they're trying to charge you loads the first time and blitz it through, it might mean that they don't think that you're going to be a future client. They want to make as much money as they can now. So that's another little red flag to look out for.
Basically, what he's trying to say is, once you've got a good mortgage advisor, you'll have them for life, and you only pay them once.
Yeah, but also if they're charging you loads the first time, it might mean that they don't think you'll come back. So if it's a small fee, it should be a good sign, I would say.
Interesting. I actually didn't. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So the next thing I would do, the next thing that you do once you've got your mortgage in place, like as in you've spoken to a mortgage advisor, you have an idea, is you then go and obviously view your properties.
Yes.
You go and have a look around, you see what you can find, you see the houses, the flats, all of that. You see the estate agents, deal with the fucking estate agents. All right, actually, that is a tip for everyone that doesn't know. Estate agents, irritating human beings.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's a tip or just a complaint.
Human beings. Like, it's their job. They're salespeople. I get it. But the aim with estate agents is to fucking sift through the weeds of people, of who are going to try and shaft you and take you to a shithole. Or, do you remember the first estate agent we ever saw? They took us to like these flats.
Dives.
They took us to these brand new flats, and then they were like, yeah, this is a really great price. And me and Matt were obviously so fresh in the water. We were like ducks.
Ducks?
What's the saying? We were ducks.
Like fish out of water. Because crucially, ducks love being in the water.
Anyway, we were ducks. We were sitting ducks, and we went into. They took us.
Oh, sorry.
The classic 101 there from Lee.
Battered a metaphor. Don't worry, keep going.
We
were sitting ducks.
We went to, we had no idea. So we went to all these flats and they were showing us and we were like, oh, these are great. I was like, this is fantastic.
You were like, I'm not convinced.
Matt was actually, to be fair to him, he was very good at like sifting through and going, this isn't big.
No.
And I remember being like, but it's so pretty.
It's so lovely. It's got lovely views.
I like,
it's got a balcony.
It's brand new. It's brand new, Matthew.
It's got a terrace. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah, it's very easy to get charmed by new builds.
Yes.
New builds can be great. What I would say is there's two main things with new builds that we experienced, in that a lot of these new builds, they have extortionate building
service
fees. Service charges.
But you don't realise. And you have to pay that every year. It's not something you pay one off. It's an every year of 2k that you've got to then fork out extra.
Yeah, and they could be, I mean, 2k, that was an average. I we saw ones that were much more than that. And that you got to factor that into your monthly payments. You know, that's an extra £200-300 a month on top of what you're paying on your mortgage. And I would also say as well, like those new builds, a lot of the time, they're trying to get people to buy them quickly. They want to sell out that building nice and quickly because it's a brand new build. They've got loads of investors that are demanding their money. So like, I think estate agents can push new builds onto you.
Yes, they can. And the thing is, though, I like a new build. We nearly bought a new build. We did. We were very close to buying a couple of new builds.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with them at all. But the main point, I'd say, is it's the estate agents.
It's the estate agents.
It's like it's the shifting through it's like, you know,
sifting through the bad.
Sifting through the bad rubbish. Yeah. That's what you are trying to do. And estate agents will particularly try and push things on you that you at that moment in time will feel like, this is a great idea, this is a great deal, I'm going to do it, let's do it, because you're in a quick rush and you want to get it done. Like, don't fall for that.
No, but then to counter that, don't falling for it, I think the way you do that is by making sure you're, you know, after you've seen a couple, you get a good idea of what you want. Be specific. That was the thing
I was going to say.
You don't be afraid of being, estate agents are there to work for you. So don't be afraid of being too specific. If you want 3 bedrooms, you want a garden, you want whatever, you know, sometimes that's ambitious. But
sometimes though, Matt, those ones are, they're like a gold dust. Like that doesn't exist. Yeah. That property does not exist. What you're asking for.
I think we waste a lot of time being shown properties that we were never going to buy because of key things that we knew we didn't want.
Very true.
And so I think if we could have been maybe a bit more forceful and a bit less like, oh yeah, maybe we could. And blah, blah, blah.
Do you know what though? This is the other thing I was going to say. When it comes to viewing properties, and this helps with this scenario, once it's the beginning, I would advise you do need to see a fair few to know what you like. Yep. And I also would recommend that you do that in a day or in 2 days back to back
if you can.
Like I would see them days after each
other.
Take
videos and make notes. Yeah. Take videos and make notes.
That was really helpful. Was taking a video for like just so you can remember especially ones you really like and you know you might consider down the line. Yeah. Take a video. It was so helpful that we did that.
Other things to mention when you're looking at things, and this is a combination of advice that we've been given by other people. Yeah. You're looking at things that are in the local area. So is the property backing onto a train line? Is there a public pathway behind it, things like that? Is there schools nearby? Is obviously a positive. And the other thing that we didn't really think about until we were into the looking process is the type of leasehold that exists as well.
Yeah, but that's specifically for people buying flats.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's first property is flats.
In London, not outside of London.
But also like a lot of, just the difference between, you know, some are freehold places, some have a share of freehold, some have a set time on their lease. So just, you know, look at it's always listed. They can't not tell you.
We can also, guys, go into detail about if people have more interest in that kind of stuff, we can actually, because we're in a share of freehold.
Yes.
Which some people have no idea what that means. No. And that's fine. You don't need to. Because a lot of people might just be buying properties. But people that are buying flats or want to understand a bit more, just let us know. Yeah, we can also do a more in-depth detail episode on it.
I agree.
Is what I would say.
I would
Sorry to cut you off.
No, I think that's fair. Yeah, you don't want to get too
not everyone needs to know that.
Leases.
So we've talked about, you've got your estate agents. We've given you some tips on that. We've looked and we've talked you through looking and buying properties. So the next thing, you found your property, you've put an offer in. What is the next thing that happens then, Matt?
Well, this is the thing.
Because I
don't. With offers, putting in offers and sellers.
Yes.
This is one thing I was going to make a point of, is that we should share our story of what happened with our second property. Yeah. And I think my point with this, before I tell the story, is just
second property.
Was second potential one.
Yeah.
That we were looking at.
Okay.
The one that, you'll know as I say, but I think this is to the point that sellers are not your friends.
Yes.
They are not there to do the best thing for you. They are there to do the best thing for them. And
I understand it.
And I understand it as well, but I think listeners, what happened to us? So I think our second property that we were looking at moving forward with was a ground floor flat that we found and we really liked.
Yeah.
Lucia really loved it as well.
I loved
still in love with it.
I loved that property. Loved
it. And with this seller, we put in an offer. They accepted the offer. It should be noted here that there is literally no legal obligation behind putting an offer in.
That's another thing,
or
listeners.
accepting an offer. It means nothing. It's just the word of people, and that's kind of people look at that as like a detriment to the people trying to buy a house. We'll be fully open and honest. When we finally bought a flat, we had 3 offers in at the same time
at different properties.
because you have to leverage the same thing against the advantage for yourself. So we had put in an offer. The seller had accepted, and we had begun going through the process. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that process is. But safe to say, it's an incredibly long process. It takes a really long time.
Fucking ages.
And we got very close to the point of closing with this seller. We were a couple of weeks away, maybe. And there had been complications.
Our-end complications. A lot of it was our-end complications. So, like, we can be bitter about this all we want, but, like, actually the reality is that it was our fault that it didn't happen.
Yeah. It was our end being slow.
We had complications.
Indeed. But we got to the point where we went over to see them, and we kind of...
Hilarious.
Did
we
a little...
jinxed this.
I took my tape measure with me.
We fucking jinxed this,
to do a little measure.
We did.
And she sat down with us, and she said to us, basically... This is the bit that I take issue with, I think. I think us getting to that point, we can take ownership of. It was probably a lot of our fault. Like, not us personally, but the people we'd employed's fault. But she sat us down and she said, basically, this has been a very slow process. I kind of really want to make this move. I'll be open and honest with you. I've had a cash offer from a friend of a friend who wants to buy this place.
And it was higher.
And it was a bit higher. But they said to us, look, we've made a deal with you first. We want to honour that. We'll give you till the end of the week. I think it was like another 5 days or 6 days or something to get all your documentation together. If you can't make that work, I'm probably going to have to go with the other seller. So Lucia and I panicked, obviously, and we contacted our people and paid an expedition fee to get things done faster.
Oh, did we?
I think with our lawyers we had to. And then, unfortunately, we got a call from our estate agent literally the next day or the day after.
Like a day or two,
where he said to us, hey guys, got some bad news. Unfortunately, the sellers decided to go with the cash offer. And we sort of went, we literally just spoke to him about this. Are you sure it's not till the end of the week? And he was like, oh, no, she didn't tell me that.
No.
If she'd spoken to you, no, she's gone with the offer. Sorry. And even as an estate agent, he was like, this is pretty
rough.
Pretty immoral and pretty
Sorry,
rough.
guys.
But hey, it happens. So my point being, don't feel guilty about the offers that you put into sellers, and don't feel obligation towards them. In this particular thing, you really have to look out for yourselves.
Yes, I do agree with that point. I do. And I think our experience was an example of that. However, what I would say, though, and this moves on to what the next stage of the processes are, is it's very important, and we've already said it about the mortgage advisors, we've already said that about estate agents, but it's so important when you're buying a property to make sure the people that you have around you are good fucking people, and they are good at their jobs, and they are recommended, because that is what screwed me and Matt over in missing out on this property. Yes, she was a bit of an idiot, and she shouldn't have done that to us, but at the end of the day, we had screwed her over by delaying that process
delaying it for so long.
by 6 to 7 months. And an average sale was 3 to 6 months. Ours was way over that line. And like that was because of all of our other people involved in the sale and our own issues of making it a delay. So like, but the next stage, so once you've put your offer in, you're moving forward with the process. The next thing from then, from my memory, correct me if I'm wrong, is you go to your mortgage advisor and you've explained to them that you've put in an offer. And then they get all your documentation together to get your mortgage offer to you.
They get your mortgage in principle, right? Yeah, that's true.
No, not your mortgage in principle.
Sorry,
not your mortgage in principle.
They apply for your mortgage offer to the bank.
They send the application off to the bank, which you're then waiting for approval, and the approval actually doesn't take that long. No,
it's usually quite a quick thing.
It was a quick process for that, wasn't it?
And that's even with us and our complications.
Yeah, that was actually relatively simple.
Yeah, I think
that part.
Yeah, that bit wasn't too bad. I think we had a delay because of we were waiting for some tax returns and pay slips and stuff, but
that bit was actually quite quick. And the thing with the mortgage offer is the mortgage offer is valid for like I think
it was a
3
year.
months. It's not a year. It was not a
No,
year.
no,
It's
you're
like
right.
3 or 6 months the offer is valid for.
Mm.
It's offered. It's valid for a fairly long time.
Yes.
So that's the next thing that
That's
happens.
the next thing done.
And then the other thing to say is that your mortgage in principles. I know everyone goes on about it.
Mm.
You actually don't need a mortgage in principle when you're buying. You don't
need to know.
You do not.
Because again, there's
It's just
no
a piece of paper that
legal
tells you.
obligation when it comes to making an offer and
No.
accepting an offer. So you don't need to
it.
back it with anything.
The only bit where it's helpful is it's the same though, but it's the same as when you speak to a mortgage advisor. It's the very first step. If you're talking to a mortgage advisor, they are able to tell you the rough amount you're able to get.
Mm.
The mortgage in principle is just that on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So don't stress if you haven't got a mortgage in principle is what I'm trying to say.
And at the same time as contacting your mortgage advisor for this, you now also need to hire some solicitors.
You need to have some solicitors.
You need to hire some solicitors. And the first error that we made, I think, is that we took a recommendation from
fucking estate
agents, and they put us in contact with a very, very large law firm who handle, loads and loads of cases. And listeners, I think this is the biggest bit of advice we would say about solicitors.
Yep.
Don't go for a big firm.
No.
I think that's what I would advise. We found we were speaking to like 3 different people.
Yeah.
Someone would go on holiday.
We
our
didn't
case
know
would get stuck in the
who our
weeds.
solicitor was.
No. And
That's
there was
such a fair point. I couldn't tell you who the solicitor was.
It was a joke.
It was so bad.
And I think that if you hire someone like a solicitor, the fact that you have to do half their job for them by like chasing them and asking them questions and did you remember to do this, and it's ridiculous. So we struggled for months and months with this massive firm, and it delayed us hugely.
It was part of the reason why we lost that property.
It was indeed.
It was part of the reason. There was it was probably about a third of the reason why that property didn't go through. It was because of them.
Yeah.
Maybe half. I'd say good half.
For our purchase that was then successful, we went with someone who was personally recommended to us, not by someone like an estate agent, a friend of a family friend. Recommended it to us, and it was a small firm, and there was a few people in the office, and we had one solicitor, and she handled everything. And
oh my god,
you could call her, you'd speak to the same person.
Yeah,
I think it's so important.
And she would reply like that. We were waiting on emails from our other solicitors
for days
for weeks, and we were like, "This is a joke. We're paying you."
Yeah.
But they were the cheaper options. Remember, they were a little bit cheaper than the ones we ended up going with.
And sometimes it's worth paying.
Honestly, the biggest tip we will ever give you on this podcast about buying. Make sure you just pay the money for
the money. It's worth paying the money for
the fucking
good
money.
solicitors.
The stress is not worth the chasing. The fact that you're having to chase your own solicitors who you're paying for them to do a job for you is wild.
Yeah.
Like, they should be dying to help you out. They should be calling you
for
every 5 minutes.
I want blood for my house.
Come on. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
So that was the next stage. So the next thing is, so then you get your solicitors in order. You make sure that you've got good ones.
Yes, and be prepared
to
do lots of back and forth.
Oh my God, be prepared to do so many emails, to send over so many documents, the same documents, scan them in. And like, it's also, you start to lose track of what's going on.
Yeah.
You kind of really do. And like, our solicitors, we had to fill out these online forms. Do you remember? We had to do our own online forms of like all of our details. And we had a complicated sale, as we've explained before, but like, we had various ways of paying for certain things, and then that complicated stuff. So what I would say is try and be on top of your documentation as much as you can. And me and Matt, I remember we were working like ridiculous hours at the time of trying to buy us. We were both pretty shattered. So then we'd come home after a really long day.
You had to do 2
and
hours of
paperwork. And then have to sit there for an hour and a half, and that was your evening gone. And we were just sat there doing fucking paperwork.
It's worth it.
But it was worth it.
But it's a lot.
It was long. So then after that,
assuming everything is fine with your questions, and of the solicitors have to ask questions about the property, and like, that's where all that lease stuff comes into it sometimes. You then have to send off for surveys.
Yes. And I was going to say, sorry to interrupt you, but I was going to say this is probably a good point in which you go and see the property again.
Yes.
And you bring people
view
with
it multiple times. Take people who've bought properties before.
Take someone who has experience of buying to come and see this property with you as well.
And shout out to the Adamus. Came to us, many viewings came along with us.
Many viewings.
But so you're sending off for surveys, and what this is it's basically like a report on the property itself that details things like land subsidence, waterways, where the drainage is, are there any like harmful CO2 gases? It does the whole spiel.
So that's, am I right in thinking, and I'm not just saying this to ask to the pod, I genuinely am not sure. That's the one that's like external factors.
There's
two, right?
There's two.
So there's two that you do.
And there's often there's multiple levels of surveys that you can pay for.
Yeah.
A lot of the time there's council survey, and I think that'll give you like the basics of like the land and the subsidence, what's going on.
It's like if there's risk of flooding.
Yeah, risk of floods,
or if there's
pollution, or
stuff like that. That's one of the surveys.
And that's a base level one. I would always recommend you paying someone. A surveying company, because they will do that for you. They'll get the council searches, which will give you all of that information. But on top of that, they will then also do a little inspection. They'll have a look round. They'll look at your roof tiles.
Yeah.
They'll do a report on whether your drains look blocked.
Yeah.
All of that stuff, and it's just good to know. It's also, it will hopefully.
So that's part of that first survey, or is that the second one you're now talking about?
It's all one thing. So the first survey is just the council one, which you can pay the council for. You can do that yourself.
Yeah.
But if you pay a surveying company, they'll get that from the council, and then on top of that,
they'll do more.
They'll do more, and they'll do the visual inspections.
And you organise that through your
don't have to.
advisors.
No, we
just went with a separate company.
We just contacted the surveying company.
You just kind of Google, if I remember correctly now that's come back to me, we Googled surveyors, didn't we?
Yeah, but ours was a bit unique because we were able to buy council searches.
Even for the other one though, for the first property we did it. Do you not remember? We got as far as
we
we
did
the
actually.
searches on that property.
I think that's.
And we did a search on who we would pick, because we asked for a recommendation for that one, and that's the only time where I wouldn't worry too much about getting a recommendation for that. I didn't think it was super important.
That's not.
You can literally just go on Google and look for surveyors, and then you'll find one that is like got high rating, and they'll do.
And sometimes worth asking as well, listeners. We were lucky with our final property. We were able to basically skip that step because they had a buyer pull out, and who'd done the searches, and we were able to buy the searches off them. So you can. It's not unique to you. You can buy searches off someone else as long as you.
Yeah, but they have to have gone through all of that process. So
exactly. Yeah.
You don't know if that might have happened or not.
But yes.
So you do your surveys.
So you do your surveys, and once if that comes back clean and everything is good, then you're moving to your final bits of exchange and contract.
Yeah. So this is where my memory is a bit murky, and I believe the way it happened was, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm really not sure. We went in and signed our documentation with our solicitors. So you basically also, guys, to note, before the final steps, your solicitors and so the thing to note before you get to the final stages of all of this, what happens is your solicitors are going back and forth with the seller's solicitors.
Yep.
And what they're going back and forth over is the details of the contract and the details of the property. For example, we had carpet in our flat on the stairs, and on the deeds of the property of this flat, do you remember so basically, I'm overcomplicating it. Basically, our flat had carpet.
Yeah.
When we were buying the property, the majority of the carpet had been ripped up and is wooden flooring.
Yeah.
On the deeds and on the lease agreement of the property, it says all 3 flats must have carpet. And I remember going to Matt, well, it's wood.
Yeah.
So then we contested that with the owner of this property, through our solicitors and their solicitors, to get a documentation signed by all the owners saying that it was fine, that there was no issue. So it's stuff like that
and
that goes back and forth between your solicitors.
Exactly, and that whole list of stuff, there is stuff going to be left in the property as well. So
you argue in the sale when you're buying the property. You go, all right, let's buy the property, but can you leave the wardrobe? Can you leave this? Will you leave the shed? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
So your solicitors are going back and forth between each other. That's why there's loads of emails. So on top of doing all your paperwork, you're then dealing with the questions and the things that you want to speak to the seller about, and vice versa.
Yeah.
No, what were you
No, I
going
was
to
going to say, and then, I don't know if anyone actually wonders what happens at this stage, but all of the money is kind of like what happens to the money.
Oh, yeah, what happens to your money?
What happens to your money?
How much is your deposit?
Your solicitors are the ones that will hold your money.
Yeah.
So they have your details of your mortgage, and your mortgage will be your bank bit of your loan will be sent directly to your solicitors, so your mortgage never comes to you.
No.
It goes straight to your solicitors.
Yes.
And you deposit with your solicitors the rest of your deposit,
so
whatever you're putting in.
Get your solicitor's bank details and you transfer over your deposit into their bank, basically.
Indeed. And then the solicitors hold that money until
the date of the exchange.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I'm saying this so slowly because I'm like, is this correct?
Correct.
It's till the date of when you exchange.
Yes.
And what that means is you exchange contracts of the property
of sale
that you've signed.
And at that point, keys are handed over and money is transferred into the other accounts. And it all they're called escrow accounts. They're special accounts that are like held, but for specifically this purpose. And assuming everything goes well, so the sale has gone through.
Let me just make this clear. So you put your money in your account in the deposit
in the solicitor's account.
In the solicitor's account, you're exchanging contracts, which we've signed already because we've already been and signed it before. Once that's done, you have officially exchanged, and then what happens?
Get the keys?
No, I don't think it was like that because then you had to wait a few days. So there's a reason why you have an exchange date, and there's a reason why you have a completion date.
That's just for that escrow account to clear. So like, but that it depends. Like that doesn't always take days. That can sometimes happen immediately.
Yeah.
It just depends on the situation. Depends on how the banks are. Depends what day of the week it is. Like if it's a Friday, they might need to wait till a Monday. It's one of those things where it doesn't always take days.
We didn't exchange and complete on the same day, did we? I can't remember.
I think we did exchange and complete on the same day.
This is so bad. I really
can't remember. What I do remember
this.
is when we completed,
that part is so blurry in
Lucia
my mind.
was not in the country.
I wasn't in the country.
I had to go and collect our keys first.
He did. It was quite it was a shame. But that's why it's because of all of that. I had a lot going on at the time when we bought. So it was because of all of that this part of my brain is murky. It's murky waters as to what happened in what.
But just brace yourselves emotionally and physically. It's mentally. A long process. And then, I mean, we're not even going to get into the complications of how you move all of your stuff.
Moving.
That's a whole other complication. But I think ask family and friends for help.
I feel like we've covered the majority of the process.
I agree.
And we've broken it down as best as we can. If you do have any other questions,
let us know.
Give us a shout.
Let us know. We'll just do our best.
I'm actually just going to double check that I've not missed anything that I wanted to tell you to make sure that you understand. Buying a house mortgage. No. There's one top tip I do have left that we didn't say.
The golden nugget. This is the best bit of advice here.
The one thing you are going to have to do, listeners, is if you're buying as a couple, is you are going to have to compromise.
Oh.
That is just a fact.
Yes.
Like mine and Matt's list of when we started looking was like, it was long.
Yes.
And why are you smiling? Someone literally said this to us yesterday, and that's why I think you're smiling.
Yeah.
Matt's thing when we were buying was, I don't want to buy a high up in the sky flat. Like it needed a lift, or it needed not to have stairs.
Because and crucially, listeners, not because I'm lazy, which is Lucia loves to say it like it's because I don't like stairs. It's because I work as a musician. I have lots of gear, including speakers, massive keyboards, and I've spent the last 3-4 years of living in places that it wasn't easy to get that stuff in and out of. And so one of the things is if I'm buying a place, I wanted that to be easy. Obviously, as you may be able to tell from the elevation, listeners, we ended up on a 3rd floor flat.
We're on a top floor flat.
But however, obviously, as we've spoken about before, we have our little outhouse garden studio, which is a very nice way of still fitting my requirement of not needing to be. But in fact, actually, that proves my point because I'm happy about being here despite having to go upstairs all the time because I've got somewhere for the gear. So it's not about the stairs, it's about the gear. No,
what I find interesting though about this is that I actually rarely see you loading things in and out from there. That's I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Just because that's how facts work. I don't see it, so it can't happen. Must be the logical conclusion. Yeah, right, sure.
Oh my gosh.
I don't see you picking up your hair. Is that why I find it all the time?
I fucking do.
I don't see you do it.
Oh gosh. Okay, we should leave it there. But yes, compromise.
Yes, compromise.
That is something you're going to have to do.
Maybe some parties need to be prepared to compromise more than others.
Also, like the other thing I was going to say, like with that compromisation, sometimes it's not even like it's about what each other wants. It's like you have to compromise. Like
the reality of what
the reality
exists.
of what you can get with the value for your money.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like, oh, they want stairs, they don't. It's more like, these are the list of non-negotiables for you all. There might be one thing on that list that you will not be able to get.
And prioritise. Like, you can.
Yeah.
It's great to have a wants and
it.
wish list, but not everything can be as important
Not
as each
everything
other.
will be as important, and you might not be able to get everything because the value for money is dog shit.
Indeed.
Yeah. And that is our top tips.
That's our top tips for buying.
Property. All right, we should leave it there because
We
need to A, go, and B, this is going to be a long episode.
Indeed, yeah. Apologies, Natalia. Sorry.
We will leave it there.
Me as well, but yeah. Thank you for joining us, listeners.
Guys. Thank you for coming back.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming back. And next week we should have Patricia back. We'll
Trish
let you know.
will be back in the studio.
I hope.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
No. Seriously, thank you for covering for her. I hope everyone has enjoyed having Matt on the pod. I have. It's been nice.
Well, and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's
Peace
been
and love.
lovely. Peace and love, guys.
Peace and love.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.